Hi everybody, and welcome to another Friday's tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm drawing with a little bit of charcoal sticks, natural charcoal, and there are many kinds of those. Well, not so many, but for instance this is a willow branch, but you also have charcoal made by vine. So these are fine sticks. There's not much difference in them. And then of course there are your charcoal pencils. And the charcoal pencil is what I'm going to use for the setup, for explaining. And of course on my Patreon page I will be drawing and talking at the same time, one-on-one. This is slightly fast forwarded a little bit. But what I do here is finding out where everything is going to be when you are drawing free-handed. Now, as you can see, I am using my pencil to roughly measure out where everything is going to be. So I'm drawing in horizontal lines, the nose line, the chin line, and I'm simply roughly measuring them out with my pencil. I also look for directions. So this is the direction of nose and chin, then the direction of the cheek, and I also want to know, of course, where the eye socket is going to be. And you can do that with your pencil, or you can use a little ruler if you want. Now here is the point for the deepest point between the eyes, and then I noticed that that deepest point is at one line vertically with the point of the chin. So these are all landmarks that will help you to make and set up a correct skull and portrait. Now this is the direction of the eye. That's important too, and the eyebrow. And you have to check out where the eyebrow stands in comparison to that deepest point in between the eyes. Now this is very useful when you're drawing a silhouette like this, a side look. And the picture that I'm using on the left side actually is a picture I took from a marble sculpture that I saw when I was visiting Scotland. There was this beautiful marble lady there, so I took a picture and I printed it out, and I'm using it now for you to explain how I would draw this marble sculpture. Now here you can see the fleshy part underneath the chin, and this is then the back of the body, and here on the left side you can just see her right shoulder. Now this is your negative space underneath the chin. So that is important too, to search for that negative space to come up with the contour lines. That was my cat, sorry. And then you can start searching for the deep areas. And in the deep areas of your portrait, of course, there will be a lot of shadow. And this is your hairline. I also want to check out that earlobe, which is a little bit higher than the line of the nose. So I also draw in that ear. Then I can see where the eye is in comparison with the chin and the ear. And then I can place in that eye as I want it. And the charcoal can be stirred around very easily. And at first your drawing doesn't look like much at all. It might even look very ugly. But that doesn't matter at all, because now we are simply taking the time to get to know and get to see where everything is going to be. at a later stage you can make your drawing a little bit more prettier. And at this point the nose is still too sharp and those kinds of things. But that is for a later concern, because first what you want to do is search for the high and low areas and getting everything in the right place. Now, as you can see, this sculpture has a braid in the hair. And the fun part about drawing, making use of marble sculptures is very nice, because the sculpturist is building up that hair. So you can actually see the directions of the hair and simply draw in the most important lines of that hair. And the hair builds around that skull, so around the back of the head. Then this is the shoulder, of course, the lines in the hair. And now I am getting at that point that everything is kind of in the right place. So that's awesome. So take your time at first. Then you can take your charcoals, the natural charcoal, vine or willow, whatever you have. And then you can start also putting in those soft shadows, because the natural charcoal is very, very soft indeed and can be erased very easily too. What you can also do is use that same stick to get in some background. So I'm doing that too, and I'm rubbing that in a little bit. And what you can do then is make that nose pop out, for instance. So simply whiten it up with a pencil eraser or kneaded eraser if you have that. And then you can actually bring that sculpture alive. Then you can go back in with the charcoal pencil, of course, because I'm rubbing around the charcoal pigments and stuff. And that's why I love charcoal so much. You can just stir it around. And here at the front of the forehead there's also a lot of shadow. So I'm simply trying I'm simply trying to draw in the light and the darks as I see them in around that sculpture, if you want. And at some point, all of a sudden, that sculpture comes alive. She pops off your drawing page. And this is actually an excellent way to train your eye-hand coordination. And I'm going to do a lot more. So I simply make like 3, 4, 5 drawings of that same lady. And then I compare my drawings, lay them next to each other, and then I'm simply filtering out the mistakes that I made. And in that way I am training myself to become a better portrait artist. So this is an excellent way of studying, and it doesn't have to be all that beautiful, of course. But this is the way to train yourself, and it is a lot of fun. And I made this drawing in simply 20 minutes. So I'm going to draw some more. I also want to come back to you next week. So, hope to see you next week, of course. If you liked this videos and these tips, then please give this video a big thumbs up. Maybe you can check me out on Patreon, then you can draw along with me one-on-one. But in any case, I hope to see you again next Friday. Thank you for watching and take care.